สวัสดีค่ะ and welcome to Morning Thailand. I'm วรรณสอนเครือหงส์
And I'm Thanannapat Noiwing, and you're watching the morning live show here from the studio of Bangkok World on this Wednesday, August 28, 2013. First of all, I gotta apologize for the poor quality of my voice. I've been getting
a little
flu.
bit under the weather because of course
Yeah.
these days it have been raining this morning raining
And
quite
it
a
was
bit
pretty hard this early morning when we left the house.
exactly so we all got a little soaked but that's okay we're here
So be very careful because
very
we can't
careful.
trust the weather at all. Anyway, in this program today, there's a lot of news and updates in a lot of cases, especially politics. Very interesting, Kun Golf, because yesterday the NACC has just published a list of ministers.
right who seems to be quite rich let's just say well off
Yeah, a lot of new ministers who has been appointed in the Yingluck 5 cabinet has just reviewed their assets and also that of their family members as well. We got to see who is the richest
Right.
or the poorest in the newest cabinet. But first of all, starting off with a robbery case that happened yesterday. It seems pretty weird. This happened in Samut Prakan province. Police in the Samut Prakan municipality were informed of a robbery that happened at a local grocery store in Bang Mueang Mai sub-district, and they rushed to the scene and met Kun Bunsira Misin, a 38-year-old victim who was there and still petrified by the incident. She said that she owns the shop, which is on the first floor of a two-story building, and also she lives on the second floor of the apartment. However, around 4 p.m. yesterday, she saw a Hyundai sedan parking in front of the shop. And then a woman, seems to be in her 40s, came in with a 9-year-old boy. A short while later, another woman, aged around 20, came in with another male teenager, and they bought a pack of snacks and started eating in front of the shop.
oh
Which is very suspicious, and two women there seems a little bit more curious about the stuff in the local store, including the toys and other stuff there, and they kept asking about the prices, and they just buying one after another. So they took around 1 hour in a shop.
yeah that is suspicious if you take like an hour to buy toys
And before the shop owner saw it was too suspicious, and the teenager, the male teenager who bought the snack there, appeared to be on the doorstep to the second floor, which is a way to her bedroom upstairs. That was when she realized what is going on, and then she started shouting for help. And all the culprits instantly ran to the car and fled the scene instantly. No one was there.
Right.
However, she came upstairs and reports that the stolen assets include the 40 baht of gold jewelry, some of her jewels, and 40,000 baht cash. All of them worth around 1 million in total. That's pretty much.
That's a lot
Yeah.
for I think that's the thing, if they're able to do this, I believe that they probably know these particular person beforehand, the shop owners, and knows that he has like all these assets or jewelries in her house.
And all of them know that she was in the shop alone all the time.
Exactly. So I think they've been planned that for a while. So hopefully that's sad because it's involved a 9-year-old boy.
Yeah. They
As a
use it just to distract her.
Exactly. So that's horrible. Now to another horrible news. Unfortunately, we have to start our day today with horrible news. There has been a report of a rape case, but this time the age went as young as 11 years old. Yeah, so a girl.
That's mean grade 6, right?
Yeah, exactly. Grade 6 or even grade 5 because some of the kids would be 12 by the time they're in grade 6. However, this is actually took place, the incident took place since the 16th of June, but the police were just able to arrest this particular person, age 24, Kwan Thao Puta. Now, this particular person is 24 years old, as I mentioned. He lives in Kanchanaburi province. Now, the parents of the girl notified the police that their daughter actually came back home and she looks a little bit, sad and down and such. So the parents noticed, the behavior of their daughter and decided to probe her. And she finally stated that on the 16th, Kun Kwan, this particular person, actually, she has been talking to this, or she has talked to this man for quite a while, for 4 days.
That's a very short
Not
while.
a short while now, but it's way back before the 16th, before now, obviously. And they said, she said that this is through the application, a phone application. Obviously, kids these days, we tend to try to provide them with whatever we can, and with the technology these days, it ended up with smartphones and such.
And that's the risk of social media. She's just 11-year-old and she got a smartphone, right?
Exactly. And the thing is, while you're chatting, you would never know the age of the other person, and you don't really know the person. Now, this through the Loops application, which is used to, you can chat using Facebook or messengers and such. And this particular application obviously allowed this person to actually lure in this little girl. Now, they say the girl said that he asked her to go and meet him at the mall. So she went. But afterward, he took her to another resort, a bungalow, where he actually raped her and then dropped her off later. But obviously, at this point, the police has been trying very hard to try to find him, and finally they found him, got arrest warrants, and yesterday they make a press announcement showing that they finally arrested the man. So at this point, the police hoping that all the parents take a little bit more precaution when you see that your children are chatting on the phones, or if you should know their whereabouts at all times, especially if they're that early teens kind of thing.
I think police were able to arrest him very easily because he hadn't seen it coming, because it happened in June, right?
Exactly. And plus, obviously, they actually be able to track him down using the girl's phone.
The Loop application. Speaking about this, if you had no idea what it is, it doesn't like the line application where we got our contacts from friends or our colleagues from
this
the phone
one you
numbers.
can actually randomly search for
from
the
the Loop
users.
application. There's like a chat room where you go in there and talk to strangers.
Right. So be very careful, and if you get a chance, make sure that take a little bit more precaution when it's come to tweens.
Especially your children are too young to have a smartphone. You don't know what comes with the technology these days.
Monitor them. That's the thing.
Moving on to some more cases here. If you remember, there's a robbery case at the Aurora Gold Shop in Big C, La Prao in Bangkok district.
That's way back a little bit.
Yeah, it happened on August the 4th, and now police were able to identify earlier. They identified the suspect who was seen in the security camera footage, who ran away with 50 baht weight of gold, worth in total around 950,000 baht. However, they said that the culprit was a man aged between 25 to 35 who dressed very properly and seemed to be acting on his own because he was there alone in the CCTV footage. However, yesterday, detective police from the Chok Chai police station revealed that they were working as a gang, a robbery gang composed of 3 men whom they already managed to take into custody. The 3 suspects include คุณทวีโชค กนกสิงห์ คุณจักรนรงค์ มาสวัสดิ์ and คุณสุเทพ เนียมเสง คุณทวีโชค was the one seen in the CCTV footage, and after committed the crime, he ran away on a motorcycle with the help of คุณ จักรนรงค์ who was riding a motorcycle, and then he changed his clothes and fled with คุณ สุเทพ from Bangkok. However, 2 of them were arrested in Bangkok yesterday, and the other one was nabbed in Mae Hong Son, and he's now on his way back to Bangkok for interrogation and further investigation. Good for them. They could not escape this very easily.
And the thing is, I think this place has been robbed like
several times
before, which is not very good either.
Not just Aurora in Big C, Lad Prouth, because there's a Aurora branches in many supermarket store and hypermarket store. Not just this Lad Prouth branches.
He was so calm. Like he looked so calm in that particular CCTV camera. All right, pay for your crime. Now let's move on to another interesting news, Kun Phai. Apparently we have been reporting a lot about illicit drugs that we found yesterday. Kun Tulip talked about 1 million of the methamphetamine pills that has been confiscated and believed to be part of a network of Colonel Yise, who's one of the biggest drug lords that we have heard of right now. Now at this point, in order to try to perhaps, since they say that they cannot stop it, might as well try something else. And apparently, interestingly enough, Kun Chaikasem Niti Siri, the Justice Minister, has came up with quite an interesting way out, I guess, offer, saying that he has talked to the Central Institute for Forensic Science, as well as asking the Office of the Narcotics Control Board to work together and see whether or not they can use Kratom, which is one of the leaf that pretty much, I would say, that is very close to marijuana, but not quite. I mean, when apparently, according to this particular minister, anyway, he said that it doesn't provide you as much of the hallucination and such as in marijuana. So he didn't say that he knows how he knows it. He just said that in the olden days, he have been living in the garden and orchard. Exactly, and he said that he have seen people that has been using this as an alternative of try to release stress. Now they say that at this point, Kun Chaikasem seems to think that introducing another type of I guess substance, or at least this one is organic ones, I guess you can say, to the this drugs industry might help the problem. Now he said that at this point it might be a good alternative, because he said that you have seen, like we have seen a lot of people using, for example, alcohol as a way out, or smoking. So he said that Kratom could be one of it. Well, at least according to him anyway. Now he said that obviously the government will take a look. The authorities will not let it just being used widely, but they're going to have some kind of regulations over it if it's ever going to be done, though, because he still talk about the exception of the society as a whole, whether or not this is acceptable. I think that you're really pushing it, because the thing is, it's really hard to regulate this kind of stuff.
Seriously, if you want to tell children to relieve stress, just tell them to go play sport.
Yeah, there should be other types, you know what I mean? But I guess, this is like his way of trying to provide alternative with less, according to him anyway,
or you just want to follow the states of the United States, that in some
legalize
states they were
marijuana. Yeah, in Canada they do that, but the thing is, people, you got to understand that, right here in Thailand, sometimes is really hard to be able to control this kind of substance. Don't forget the law over in the North America is a lot stronger and stricter than here. Like we're not as strict. You have to admit that. And the thing is, if using this could cause a lot more problem. And Dr. Bunreung Traireung Warawat, the National Command Center for Drugs Eliminations Department, the director of this particular department, which belongs to Public Health Ministry, has came out and talked about this. And he said that the thing is, there has been the ideas of this for 10 years now, over 10 years, about whether or not they should introduce this kind of stuff. However, he said that Kratom would give you two symptoms almost. It would act almost like a methamphetamines, so it would actually give you that high, but it gave you the hallucination, just like in marijuana or heroin as well. It's not as much, but still it will actually suppress your brain.
Yeah.
So technically, that's why you becomes a little bit more lively, and you seems to be able to work a lot harder, a lot longer period, because obviously is pretty much telling your brain that, hey, you're okay. even though your body might be really tired.
Come on, it's still illicit drugs.
Exactly. Well, that's what they're trying to say, and this particular person, Dr. Bunryung, the director, said that he thinks that we should not introduce this as another choice, because he said that there's already has been report where it was mixed with other stuff. They call it 4x4, 4x100, excuse me, which is like you mix this with other type of drugs, for example, the energy drinks or any other stuff, painkillers, and it ended up, other substance, 4 of them at least, and they end up becomes,
boosting effect.
Exactly, it's quite strong effect. So the thing is, Kratom alone might not give that effect, but to legalize it, you might open a door for people to be able to do something else with it.
Yeah.
So at this point, the Justice Minister seems to think that it might be a good idea. We have to see, because obviously he said we're going to have to look at the society as well.
I don't think
I don't think so either.
However, if they want to use it, just follow morphine. They can be used only in medication,
but
only to suppress the
He
pain.
actually thinks that is for rehabilitation. That's a problem. So
Okay,
all
we
right.
have to wait and see.
Exactly. So let's take a short break, because Kun Fai have another bad news for you. Apparently, there's going to be a price hike in the alcoholic beverages. So
Yes.
please stay tuned.